Alright, I basically went to a school called CEDU Reform School in Southern California by San Bernardino in the mountains, and basically it was in the middle of nowhere. We did a lot of wood chopping, a lot of therapies, where we yelled at the ground and stuff. That's part of why I yell to this day, I think, and needless to say, I hate everybody at that school, and if I ever see them again, I'm sure that I'll hurt them violently, because it was being there and then later figuring out why they're able to get away with it that made me truly upset. It has to do with the history of eugenics in America. It has to do with the pharmaceutical industry being the most profitable industry, prescription drugs being the most common leading cause for preventable death in many regions in America. And it also has to do with the white power structures, philosophy, and racism. Okay, it's so-called liberal, but liberals, if you really understand it, the Liberal Party is more Nazi kind of white racism, and it's innovative, kind of scientific in a way, and then psychiatric, which is pseudo-scientific, and then you have basically, let me just focus on not really get into that. I went to this school, and it changed my life in a negative way, and it showed me that camps that are run by Nazi style, white Western European philosophy, Nazi philosophy, fascist philosophy, that's how the camp was run. And it's hard for me to even talk right now, because just thinking about it, it's in my head that these people were really Nazi sympathizers that really had me in a camp. And there's documentaries out called Surviving CEDU. I went there. That's a fact. When I was 15 years old, I believe. And I believe that was the same year when my heart was broken really bad by a woman, by a female, my age, and it sent me into emotional distress, which caused me to hang out with thugs and start going down that path. And my parents sent me to reform school and trying to drug me at the same time. So it's about drugging you and trying to force you to agree with the Western philosophy and fit into a Western run society. And trust me, I've seen the same kind of treatment in different forms. Not as harsh there, but at other places. To make a long story short, I went to Ascent after getting kicked out of CEDU for escaping twice, smuggling marijuana in there twice. And when I was at Ascent, this is like a reform school, in boot camp style reform school in Idaho, they told me about some other school like Prov or something like that was far away, like in Utah, that was even worse than that. The people only got out of the room like once a month or some crazy stuff. And basically, to get out of there, I had to go to the psychiatric institution, go through the motions to kill myself, which I knew would allow me to go to a psychiatric institution, because they didn't even allow you to write home. Now, there's a lot more horrible things about this camp I could tell you about, but I'm going to end it there, because these are Nazi scum, and I'm going to fucking make sure that they're held responsible, one way or another. If my justice system fails me, I'm going to fight the Nazi scum that my motherfucking grandfather fought. And my grandfather isn't necessarily somebody I respect, as the greatest member of my family. He was just an average guy. But the scum that he fought were the scum I will face.